No, 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 no! Might have a little confession to make. Yes, they happen to be the calves that I spent all of last week's video chasing around a field. When I went away, Storm Bert just come blowing in, and to be honest, yeah, he made a hell of a mess. Calves got out, the field got wet, Dad was just like, I'm bringing them in. So when I came back, ta-da! Calves were in the shed. We brought them in and they're eating on that herbal lay silage, which, to be honest, is rocket fuel. Smells so good as well, and they're loving that stuff. So they're chomping away on that, and if we get some frost, we'll get them back out again. And we have got quite a decent grass wedge. We've got a lot of grass we can turn out to in the spring, because we've still got all that grass that they would have been grazing over the winter should they actually been dry, but it's not dry. So in theory, if we get some decent weather, I don't know, January, February, get some cold weather even this month, whatever it is, then we'll get them back outside and keep grazing them. So they might just be a bit in and out depending on the weather. I have problems with this morning, which we need to go and fix. The spout is not rotating round, so that spout should swivel, and it's not. It'll move up and down fine, but it's not swiveling, so we need to go and have a look at it. Hopefully we can get this going. Not 100% sure whether it's the oil flow, so it's not spinning the cog, or if it's the control box here and maybe that joystick's playing up, but we'll find out when we get up there. We can take the motor off and then we can drive it. If it spins, we'll know that it's not oil flow and it's not this switch. It'll then probably just be a case of taking the plates off the spout and then cleaning out the cogs, because it's like a big cog in there. Then hopefully when that is done, we're gonna go out to Thornton, because we've got a cow over there. Everything looks really well, but one of them's kind of losing a bit of body condition, so we wonder whether she's suffering from something or other. We're gonna get her loaded in the trailer and bring her back home so we can investigate a little further. So you can see here, this is the motor. We can take it off with those bolts there, or we can just undo this cap and see whether it spins. And then these are the plates. So there's a plate that runs round, and take these bolts out and take it off, and then there's some more plates that run around that side. We've got the motor off. Start her up now and just see if that spins freely. And then if that does, we'll know it's not the control box, and we'll know it's not the motor. So it's gonna have to be then something to do with this spout. Left and right. Okay, the motor works fine. Now to me, in some ways, that's good news, because that's the expensive bit. That up there is just cleaning. So, whew, I feel a bit better about the whole thing. Just gotta take them plates off. Okay, I think I might have found a problem. I'm not 100% sure, but check this out. There's a bit of play in this. Obviously, that's how it's built. Sits in that little ring there. And there's just a bit of wobble. Just here, a cog sits in. So the motor bolt's on there, and then there's an idler cog between the two. And this is that idler cog. Now I've just blown it off, but let's just look at these teeth. You see them? Look how worn they are on one side. That should be flat. So I reckon what it is I need to spin this around in the little boss that it sits in, so that the cogs drive on the non-worn bit, and then potentially actually order a new one, because that is so worn out that I'm sure that it's spinning in the boss, but it's not reaching the actual cog that sits around the outside of the spout. I'm gonna spin it around now, and I'm gonna see whether it works. So just for reference, this is the old way. There, kind of bit hit and miss. If you spin it over, right, she's hooked up. Let's try her again. Please, God. Oh, look at that. She lives. Whew, to be fair, that's a pretty simple fix. No doubt a new cog probably cost an absolute fortune, but a lot less than a new shredder. Hey, check this out. I've had an upgrade. Look at this. Put the edge cutter on the 125. Snazzy. In order to do it though, I've had to put new Anderson leads on. So if you don't know what an Anderson lead is, let me just show you. These little red clips here are Anderson leads. You get different sizes, but this is a general size one. It needs two on here. One runs the controller and one runs the fan on the back of there. So I took all this side panel out in the fuses there, and then you run the wires down underneath there, and then you lift this floor up. Under there is a bit of a plate. You can take this plate off, go straight down to the battery, which is underneath here, and put the lead straight onto the battery. Now when I did it, I jumped on the hedge cutter and I started like moving it around, backing it back in, and it locked me out the screen. The arms wouldn't work, and when you put it in gear, it was just jumping backwards and forwards. Turns out that there is a little tiny connector that goes onto the negative terminal on the battery, because I had to put longer bolts on the terminals, and that had come off, and it's an earth that earths all of the electrics for the cab. Honestly, if you're running one of them things, just be careful if you do something with the battery and put that back on, because it sent the tractor haywire. But I had a panic, I'm not gonna lie. I put the edge cutter on and I couldn't do anything. I thought, how the hell am I gonna get this off? But problem solved, that's the main thing. So over at Thornton, we've got all the blue cows and the older Angus cows as well. They're all in calf and they're in pretty good body condition as general rule goes. Body condition scored them at PDing, and they're all sort of 3s to 3.25. The best ones will be 3.5. So they're really in good condition. And since we weaned them, they've probably put on a bit of condition as well, which is also a bit of good news. Yet this one blue cow is just absolutely nosediving. I don't know what's wrong with her, but she's just getting super thin. So we're gonna bring her in, try and load her up, get her back into the farm. We'll probably give her a dose of fluticide, because we don't really suffer with worms across the farm at all. We're not finding worms in any group, but we do tend to suffer a little bit with fluke. So we're gonna give her a fluticide, and then we'll put her in the yard with the finishing heifers, because they're on a better quality of diet, and hopefully that'll help her bring a bit of condition on. Right, we've arrived. Land Rover's just there. The cow we want is literally just there. Dad's just unrolled a bale. I'm gonna try and back in this pen, which I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I'm gonna try. And then we should be able to try and walk her in, because I don't think she's gonna put up too much of a fight. Come on in, come on in. Okay, she's loaded. We'll get back to the yard now, jab her up and see what we think. There is one other possibility, however, it is a little bit of a slim possibility, but she could possibly be a Yoni's cow. But they have all been Yoni's tested, and she came back as a strong negative. Saying that, it might be worth just retesting her and seeing what we find, because you never know. Oh, you are skinny. Here we go. Right, well, she's jabbed up. I'm gonna stick her down in the yard, and then we'll see how she gets on. But it's worrying. It's just like, what could it be? Right, let's go and get these heifers in. Dad's taking the hurdles in the cattle trailer. I've got beef buffs on. The 6.6, so we've got a proper tractor on, one that's not gonna get stuck, and it's got a bit of grunt behind it. We've just had a bit of a nightmare with the John Deere telehandler. It's literally just stopped working. Don't know why, but it has. Joystick, just nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it's not wobbly, it's gone stiff. All the fuses are fine, still moves backwards and forwards, but it's kind of pretty useless without a joystick. Honestly, what with the weather, the cow, and now the telehandler, I don't need any more problems this week. So if we can save them for another week, I'd be eternally grateful. So the plan is to get these cattle and take them into that lane there, and then we'll get the hurdles and we'll put a little pen on this end and we'll back up. What we tend to then do is we can draw a few forward into the pen this end, shut that gate behind them, load them on, and then get the next load and then put the last group on. Plan is then, once we've loaded them up, when we take them off the other end, we'll run them down the race and weigh them. They haven't been PD'd yet, but we can book the vets in, get them PD'd, and we'll find out where we stand. But they're in really good nick, and they were doing 1.15 kilos a day before they came up here. So it'd be interesting to know what they've done since they've come up here. But they do look really well. They look absolute picture. I'm really pleased with them. I wish we had more ground like this at home as well. We've had all that wet, look. Look at it. Solid. I'm not gonna lie, that is a lovely heifer, but I hate its horns. Okay, I've got a confession to make. We couldn't get them in. You could drive them all the way to the lane and they'd just get within 20 yards and they would just turn back and they would go out of literally everywhere. They'd push through the fence, they'd do everything, and to be honest, I'm not chasing them around because it just sends them wild. We did manage to get 5 in the pen, which is probably the quietest 5, which probably means that we've got the worst 9 left, but we got them in the pen and the trailer was there that we took off a Land Rover, so we just shoved them in that trailer for today, and then we're going to come back tomorrow, probably bring the Corvus because I feel like they're used to that, they'll probably come in a bit easier. We never have trouble getting cattle in. This is an unknown. There are the culprits. 9 little buggers. To be honest, the other reason why I don't want to run them around is because they should be in calf, and that's the last thing we want to be doing is just chasing them around a field. The one thing I do wonder is the lane we're trying to get them into, there's a footpath runs through it. It's really busy. There's loads of people with dogs and whatever else walk across from Coyote Mallory across that footpath. So I'm wondering whether maybe someone's been through there with a dog and spooked them, and now they're a bit worried about going in there, because it doesn't take much to put cattle off going into a place. But we'll give it another go in the morning, perhaps bring some hay and see what we can do. It's turned into a lot of fun, this game, at the minute, but hey ho, better than working in an office. See you in the morning. Okay, day 2, take 2. Dad's up the field with the cows. We're going to stop out the way and hopefully they'll go in without us interfering, because I think we're just not making things better. So he's going to run them back down there and then we'll go down and join him if we get him in. Probably about here. Bring that back then. Steady, steady. Whoa, girl. Whoa, girl. I'm just worried about that they've got the thing off. No! I don't think I've ever known anything like this. We never have trouble getting cattle in. I've did terrible. We're gonna have another go, try and run them in this way. Similar sort of thing, we're gonna put some fences up, hopefully walk them in, and then see what happens. If we don't get them this time, we'll have to leave them again. But if we leave them, I don't know how else we're gonna get them home. I won't wanna run them. Right, steady now, steady now. Come on girls, steady now, hey up. Go on, girl, steady now. Keep pressure on, right, that's it, we got him, we got him. Do you reckon that rope's enough there, or do you want another bit of string? I'm saying we want another string by both sides and then back up to here. Well, steady, 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 whoa! That's it. Perfect. Right, well, let's hope it's third time lucky. We've barricaded up as best we can. If we don't get them this time, we'll have to leave them. Come on. Come on, come on, up, 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 up. Come on, girls, come on, girls. Yeah, on that. Got him. Third time lucky. Thank God. Yeah, lift up, we got one in. Down. 506. Oh, nice. 568. 494. Oh my God, well, we got there in the end. Smallest one is 460, the biggest one was 568. To be honest, that is ideal. Most of them are sat at like 500 to 520, which is perfect for heifers. I'm really chuffed with them, they look great. Now I've just got to hope that they're actually in calf. Just glad to get them back after running around after them like a million times. What a nightmare. Never known anything like it. Anyway, hopefully next week will be better. Whatever you're up to this weekend, have a good one. Look after yourself and I'll see you in a bit. Ta-da! Hey, if you haven't seen it already, why not check out this video? Or you can subscribe by clicking on that logo. Alternatively, head to www.bodysfarm.com where you can read more about the farm, check out some blog posts, or treat yourself to some of the amazing clothing that we wear here every single day. Cheers.